Hello everybody, I'm Coach Tom and this is iplaytennis.com. I want to thank you guys for checking us out today. So this is our first lesson on how to hit volleys, a beginner volley, right? You're a new player, you've never played this game before, you may not even know what a volley is, and you want to learn a little bit more about what the shot is, how to hit the shot, and what to do with it. Okay, so first of all, you guys, a volley, it's just a ball that you hit out of the air. You could do it from the baseline, the back of the court, the middle of the court, wherever. Generally speaking, we hit volleys from closer to the net, but really they can be hit anywhere, and it's just a shot that you hit out of the air, okay? Ground stroke is a ball that bounces on the ground and you make a stroke. A volley, which is what we're working on today, is just a ball that you hit out of the air. Okay, now probably the first and most important thing I want you guys to know about volleys is that we do not add pace. Don't try to hit this ball hard. The more pace that you guys add to this thing, the less likely you are to be successful with it, the less consistent you're going to be. Think really of volleys as just a redirection of pace, right? All you're trying to do is take the ball that's coming to you and redirect it, either back into the court, back to that player, on an angle, whatever, but you're just trying to redirect the ball, not to add pace to it. And generally speaking, the reason that I say that is because when people try to add pace to a volley, they end up swinging at it, and the more we swing at it, the less control we have. Again, you guys, one of the things that you will learn as we kind of work on this game, we build your game together, is that consistency is way, way, way more important than power, right? If I hit one volley and it's this screaming, beautiful, amazing shot that goes just barely inside the line and it wins the point and I'm feeling really, really great, but then I miss 8 or 9 of my next volleys, wide or into the net or whatever, I'm not doing real well, right? But if I hit 7 or 8 out of 10 simple, basic, easy, and consistent volleys, I'm doing pretty well. Okay, so real basically, you guys, let's start with just this beginner volley. This is our lesson 1, level 1, whatever you want to call it. This is the very, very first piece of hitting volleys. And all I want you guys to do is really stick your racket out in front of you and block the ball, right? Think about giving a high five, right? If we just give a high five, that's really all I want you guys to do with this volley. So it's going to look like this. Okay, it's really as simple as just here. Right? And what you'll notice is I'm going to actually just kind of bump. I'm going to use my hand kind of like this. I'm not going to slap. I'm not going to flop that racket because that is going to cause problems. It's just a little punch. Okay, so if I'm hitting volleys, you guys, I just want to punch that ball. Ideally, I want to try to step with my opposite foot. So if I'm hitting on my forehand side, my right side, I don't want to be doing this stuff because you can see I'm kind of off balance, right? So I want to try to get that opposite foot forward. We'll worry more about that in future lessons. But for now, if you can do it, great, right? And if you're hitting on your backhand side, same thing, opposite foot forward. We'll get to forehands and backhands again in that next lesson. We'll talk a little bit more about them here, but mainly on that next lesson. So that's really it, you guys. Right now, all we're doing is a very, very basic punch right here. Now, this gets a little tricky because all of a sudden, if we get over here, we're not really sure what to do with our racket, okay? So as we progress with this, we're going to actually change our volley technique. We're going to change our grip a little bit, but for now, let's just worry about punch, okay? If it gets over here on your backhand side, punch, right? You're going to have to actually change your racket a little bit, but it's just a tiny little high five punch. Okay, you guys, a couple other things you got to know about those volleys. We're going to hit these balls up, not down, okay? And a lot of players, when they start playing, they think, oh, I got to hit the ball down, I got to hit it aggressively, I got to hit it away from my partner, or away from my opponent, and that's not the case. The more often that you hit the ball down, the more likely you are to hit it into the net, okay? Now, if you're close enough where you can actually touch the net with your racket, you can do whatever you want. Otherwise, though, I want you guys hitting those volleys up, which, with this grip that we're starting with on level 1, that's going to be tricky to do. When you get to lesson 2, we will actually talk a little bit more about adding that height. But keep that in the back of your mind. Volleys go up, not down. Okay, so let's take a look at this and just kind of see what these shots look like really, really quickly, really, really basic. I'm just going to toss the ball to myself. We don't always have a partner out here. I'm just going to toss the ball and punch it, okay? And what I want you guys to notice is that it's a very, very small and controlled swing. It's a simple punch or a simple high five. I'm going to turn my shoulders just a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look and see what these look like. Okay, so I'm just going to set my racket up, toss the ball, punch. That's it, you guys. That's as basic as I want you guys to do right now. So if somebody's hitting a ball to you, really watch that ball in and just punch. When that ball actually comes to you and it hits your racket, give that racket handle just a little squeeze and it'll kind of shore up that racket. It'll give it a little bit more stability. If you've got a backhand, right, 2 hands, punch, that's it. It's hard to do with just yourself. It's nicer to have somebody out here hitting with you, but you can do that, right? And on that backhand, I'm actually letting my left hand be in more control than my right, okay? I'm squeezing with that left hand. Okay, you guys, so really that's it for this basic volley. I'm gonna show you guys a quick drill. I'm gonna set up a target on the court and we're just gonna try to hit that target or get near that target, okay? So before you guys move on to lesson 2 in this beginner volley series, I want you guys hitting 6, maybe 7 balls at that target, near that target out of 10. So if you get 10 volleys and 6 or 7 of them are getting pretty close to that bucket, that target, whatever you use, that's when you guys are ready to move on to lesson 2. You guys, make sure that you're getting a little bit of a turn, that you're keeping that racket out in front. I maybe didn't mention that, but that is definitely an important piece of this. Keep that racket out here and just high five, tiny little punch. Here, turn, punch. Opposite foot forward. I'm here, I'm ready. I turn and I punch. I turn and I punch. Backhand side, I turn and I punch. And I'm not talking about turning my racket, I'm talking about turning my shoulders, right? I turn and I punch. That's it, you guys. I'm here to be your pro. So remember, send me your comments, send me your questions. Let me know what you guys are working on. Let me know what works, what doesn't work, and we'll build this thing together. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one.